Good day, my little robins. It's me, Beth. Another month has come and gone, which means you get a monthly wrap-up for the month of February. These videos are pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the things that I loved the month of February. Yeah, before we begin, if you want to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified of when I upload on this channel. Enough rambling, let's just dive straight into some February goodness. Let's start with music. Architects released For Those That Wish to Exist album Friday the 26th of February. I have already listened and reacted to all the singles on the channel, so if you want to check out my Architects playlist at the end of this video, you can. For me, this band and this album, it is a solid Architects album. I have listened to it non-stop over the weekend, and I'm going to say this now. There is enough growth on the songs for the band to have grown, but then there's also enough familiar that for old fans like myself that there is enough nostalgia. This seems to be the perfect balance, and I am really interested where Architects go next with their sound. Are they going to continue to kind of stay the same? Are they going to experiment a bit more? I really want to see this album performed live. Epica also released an album on Friday the 26th of February. They released the Omega album, which they have been pushing really heavily on social media. For me, Epica is one of my all-time favourite symphonic metal bands out there, and I have already added this to my writing playlist because Epica, they have that score, the melody, the lyrics. They know how to capture a mood, and I have been listening to this non-peak, kind of interchanging this with Architects, which, if you take metalcore and symphonic metal and combine the two, it is a very odd listening experience, not just for me, but for my housemates and my new neighbours. Through the month of February, here on the channel, I've been reacting to bands that, I found via Spotify, and the standout band for me this month has been Phantom Elite and their Titanium album, which they released in January. I reacted to the single for Glass Crown, and I think I have found one of my new obsessions. This album is the perfect balance of light and dark elements that kind of mix together really well to give off an intense, spooky, but kind of calming atmosphere, which you don't really get with most albums. So I cannot wait to listen to more Phantom Elite, potentially, fingers crossed, see the band live. If you like any of these bands that I'm talking about, then in the comments let's start a conversation. The final bit of music I want to talk about in the month of February is Falling in Reverse's single I'm Not a Vampire revamped. Now, after the Drugging Me Is You reimagined that I believe came out last year, we were all wondering what Ronnie was going to do next, and I was really surprised, along with a lot of fans, when they said that they were going to redo this song or revamp it. It shouldn't work, but it worked, and especially Vampire Ronnie, that epic storytelling, the visuals in that video were just the cherry on top. At this point, as a Falling in Reverse fan, I would happily take a whole reimagined album, or even more reimagined or revamped singles, because it is showcasing a stellar growth. And if you can take a song that came out early 2010s and then going into the 2020s, showing the growth and maturity. As a fan of symphonic and power metal, I love orchestras, I love strings. Yes, 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 Falling in Reverse are definitely ticking all my boxes. On to the TV portion of this February wrap-up. Continuing on from my January wrap-up, I will try and leave a link above and in the description below if you want to go check it out to kind of see what I'm going on about. Through the month of February, I decided to keep my Discovery Plus account, and I am on season 14 of Ghost Adventures. I have watched all the seasons, no, not all the seasons, I have watched all the specials that are already available, because holy hell, there are a lot of specials that show is pumping out. This show will always be a guilty pleasure show, along with the likes of Most Haunted. I love me my paranormal shows. Everyone's got their guilty pleasures. I believe ghosts are real. I would be scared to go in any of these buildings. Through Discovery Plus and the paranormal section, I also discovered Paranormal Lockdown, which actually features ex-Ghost Adventures member Nick Groff. He pairs up with another paranormal investigator, Katrina, and they spend 72 hours locked down in a single location. It is a novel concept, and I'm actually finding myself like really interested in like the first 2 seasons. I know that there's definitely a 3rd season and there's a UK series, although I am not sure if it got cancelled or not, because it's appearing that Nick Groff projects just seem to get cancelled, and it's actually really annoying because I loved him in Ghost Adventures. I was sad when he left. I understand the reasonings. He's a great paranormal investigator, so I'm interested in what he does next. The final bit of TV that I've been watching, which also carries on over from January, is RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. After announcing that I wanted like Joe Black or Cherry Valentine to win the show, they were both eliminated very early on, may I add. Joe came back and then got like eliminated again, so maybe we'll see Joe or Cherry on All Stars, fingers crossed. But I am now team Bimini. Like, I liked Bimini at the start, but kind of like faded into the background. But it seems to be as the weeks go on, like I fall in love with like Bimini's like attitude, the personality, the sass. Some of those like challenges and like runway looks that Bimini puts together are perfection. And if you haven't watched like the Snatch Game episode of, well, season 2 of Drag Race UK, Bimini's Katie Price impersonation was on point. I was like, oh, I don't know if Katie Price will work. Bimini made it work, and Team Bimini to win the 2nd season. Now on to books. I only read 2 books this month, and well, these are the books in question. Yes, they are both of Zach Bagans, or Baggins, however you want to pronounce it. He is the lead investigator on Ghost Adventures. Yeah, these were actually recommended to me on Tumblr, so I thought I had some extra pennies, I would check it out. I didn't know what I would make of these books, but they are actually really interesting. There are some stories, and then like there are some facts that I didn't know myself. And if you're a fan of Ghost Adventures, definitely pick these up. If you're a fan of Zach, then definitely pick them up. Like, I understand some people are like, oh, they're gonna be like cliche. I thought that. And then I read them, and I was like, okay. A little cliche, but they seem to work. Yeah, I haven't read a lot of books this month because I've been doing like a lot of overtime at work. I work in a supermarket. We've had a lot of people shielding or who are off with COVID. And when I come home, it's a lot easier to put on a film, watch some TV, or like listen to some music to relax. But yeah, these 2 books have kept me going the month of February. A high recommendation for any Ghost Adventures fan. Like last month, anime has kind of fell on the back burner for me. I do still pay for like Netflix, Crunchyroll and Funimation. I just need some anime recommendations, so you know, comments is the place to go. Manga wise, I have been rereading the Vampire Knight series. If you guys are interested in like what manga I've been reading the month of February, or you're interested in like anime video games, then you can check all that out on my 2nd channel, MediaGirl94. I will leave a link up here and a link in the description box below. Yeah, I used to do manga on this channel, but then I realised some of you guys were here for the music, not the manga, so I moved to a 2nd channel for all things manga and geek related. The final category is games, and it should come as no surprise I'm still playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I got all like the festival items, and I am really excited for like the Mario update. I believe that's either coming March or April. I just want to be able to run around my island dressed as Mario. Is that too hard, Nintendo? Also, I got this game. Yeah, the lighting is awful. I also can't pronounce it, so I'm going to try. Atelier Riser, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. This game has been on my list for like a long time, and I kind of bought this to tide myself over until the release of Bravely Default, which is coming up, guys, may I add. And I am so happy I did, because like the storytelling, the gameplay, the Japanese voice acting, it just works. And I know there is a sequel out, and I really wanted to play the first game, and now that I have played it, I really want to pick up the sequel. So what started off as like a bench warmer for Bravely Default has actually turned into a new obsession. If you love an RPG, JRPG, they are my favourite like game genre, then check out Atelier Riser. I can't pronounce half of these names. As I mentioned, Bravely Default 2 came out on Friday the 26th of February. Friday the 26th of February was like a very busy day. You know, we had Architects, Epica, Bravely Default. Now this is the first Bravely game that has actually made it onto the Switch, and as a long-time Switch owner, I know I'm not alone when it comes to fans of this series. We have known this game has been coming for a really long time, and what feels like after forever, it feels like there's been like so many setbacks, the game has finally arrived, and it was actually worth the wait. I understand, you know, that they've had to like change it from like having like 2 screens on like the 3GS and the DS to like having like the 1 screen on the Switch, but they made it work, and I kind of feel like they took notes from like other like JRPGs. It felt like they took some notes from Octopath Traveler, which was, it's a standout game. I love this series. I love the characters, the storytelling, like the voice acting. Right, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you've never played Bravely game before, some of the mechanics are quite hard to get your head around to begin with. So I would highly recommend like taking a few minutes to like maybe watch like a YouTube video to explain the mechanics, or you know, find like a tutorial. But once you nail the mechanics of this game, it is so much fun, and you find yourself easily getting sucked into like this world. The characters, I cannot wait to grind so many hours into this game. Yes. People get annoyed of RPGs and JRPGs because they're like, who wants to spend like 100 hours grinding? This person does. I love going out and killing monsters, gaining little XP, and then wondering why my characters are not growing. Yes, this just wraps up my February 2021 monthly wrap-up video. So there we have it, guys and girls of the internet. That was just my February 2021 monthly wrap-up. In the comments below, I'd love to know like what some of the things that you guys have liked this month of February. Have we liked any of the same things? If you want to recommend me anything, then the comments is the place to go. If you want more of these videos, well, you can expect one like at least once a month, because that's how monthly wrap-up videos work. I'm just going to put that out there. Let's just wrap up this video before I continue to ramble. If you want to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified when I upload on this channel. At the end of this video, you can check out my last 2 videos or playlist, depending on what mood I'm in when I'm editing this. Until next time, I am Beth. Keep reading, keep watching, keep listening, keep playing. Goodbye.